Hello, good evening. It's about 8 o'clock right now on Monday, February 17th. It's President's Day, so I had the day off today. I spent most of the day on my eBay business today instead of being at work. So I picked up some inventory from a guy off of Facebook. Pretty good stuff there. I finished up some online auctions. I'll be going to pick that stuff up later in the week. And then I stopped at the Goodwill and loaded up my car with some pretty good stuff, I think. We'll see how that all goes. So keep your eyes peeled for all of that stuff over the next few days. Tonight, I'm going to pack up orders and get them ready for shipping tomorrow. I've got 12 orders to go through, so we'll see how quickly we can get them done. So here we go. Gonna get started right now. Okay, I'm gonna start at the bottom here. Okay, here we go. This is a Starbucks coffee mug, travel mug, seal right 4A. So it should be right here. Mostly I have pottery and dinnerware and stuff over on this side of this closet. This is a Starbucks red mug product, red. I think that was some sort of an organization that Bono from U2 got put together to get big companies to give money to charity somehow. So that's that. I've had that since April of last year, so not quite a year. I bought it for only $1 and I'm about to sell it for $14.39 plus shipping. I'm going to find this next thing in this drawer right here. This is a table I usually use for unpacking these boxes, but I have this little drawer, so I use it for small items that could easily get lost in other places. And this is a set of gaskets for a KitchenAid mixer, stand mixer. I bought a mixer at a garage sale and needed to be reconditioned, so I bought a set of similar, well, I bought these gaskets for it. I think it came with 2 sets, so I'm trying to recoup some of my money by selling these. I might end up, I put on here cost of goods $0, but I think I'm actually just going to be breaking even on these. I sold them for what did I sell them for? $14.84 plus shipping. Okay, next thing is also pretty small. Right here, this little set of drawers, D2 right here. So these are, let me get it into the kitchen. This is a set of replacement pieces for a board game. It's called Horrified, a Universal Studios board game. It's based on Frankenstein, the Wolfman, Loch Ness Monster, Creature from the Black Lagoon. So some extra pieces. I bought this board game, was missing pieces, so then I'm just selling the parts, individually parting out the whole game. So that I sold for $6.92 plus shipping. Okay, I'm going to get one more item, then we're going to pack them, and then we'll do some more picking. Okay. This, we're looking for LR7B right over here, a hard drive. External hard drive, Western Digital MyBook Studio Edition. This is a 6 terabyte hard drive. I considered keeping this for myself and trying to set up a home server for movies or whatever, but in the end I thought I'd probably never get around to doing that, so I would just sell this. So I bought that at the Salvation Army store. I paid $10 for it on January 17th. So less than a month, I sold that. I paid $10 for it. I took an offer. I sold it for $119. So pretty good return on investment on that one. Okay, we're going to pack these. All right. This one. This isn't the best possible box for this mug, but it's not a great amount of profit, so I don't want to put it in too big of a box and end up spending more money on shipping than I need to. I'm just gonna quickly roll it up in some bubble wrap. That's 8 o'clock. That's my alarm to tell me it's time to start packing stuff. So I usually pack at 8 o'clock at night, try to get everything ready that has sold, and then in the morning, if there's been any sales overnight, I'll try to get those ready to go out that day too. I do next day shipping on eBay, and for them, as far as eBay is concerned, that means anything that sells by 2 a.m. has to be, that's 2 a.m. my time, Central Time here in Chicago, that has to be shipped out the next day. So I don't know about you, but 2 a.m. is late at night, and I'm not going to stay up until 2 just to see if I get any orders. So I'll pack up everything I have in the nighttime, and then in the morning there's usually 1 to 3 more sales that came in. So I'll pack those late night orders in the morning. Then I'll put them out on the porch for my carrier to pick up during regular mail delivery. So I usually have to go to the USPS website to request a pickup. And they always ask how many packages it will be. So I always overestimate. Right now I know I have 12, so I will estimate 15 or 16. So I have had them, the very first time I ever put out packages for pickup by the post office, I think it was probably 5 packages, something like that. And then overnight I got 2 more orders, so I put out 7 packages. When the carrier came, she only took the 5 that I had requested a pickup for. So I don't know how she decided which of those 7 packages were the 5 that needed to go out, but I then had to come home from work and rush over to the post office to get those 2 straggler packages out. So now I just overestimate how many packages are going to be out there. They don't seem to have any problem with it. In fact, when I'll usually get an email confirmation that the packages have been picked up, and it is invariably, if I leave out 10 packages, they'll say they picked up 20. If I leave out 12, they say they picked up 24. So I don't know what that's about, but it doesn't really affect me. Whatever they have to do is fine with me. I should have just covered this with a label. That's what I usually do, but I took a little time to scrape that off. Okay, marker. This is Starbucks. It weighs 1 pound 9 ounces and measures 10 by 8 by 5. Round these up to the nearest inch. And then it is going to a buyer, with the initials EIS FDM. So this is an eBay International shipping order. I just have to get it to the eBay warehouse. They call it the hub, which is only 10 minutes from here. So it ends up being pretty cheap to ship. And once they get it, I have no concerns. This is the best thing about the eBay International shipping program. You send it out to them, they get it. If the buyer wants to send it back, or if it gets broken in shipping or anything like that, eBay takes care of it. I'm totally out of it. So I always love to see those eBay international shipping packages. Okay. I'm going to put this with a piece of cardboard, give it a little protection. Maybe I'll fold it over. Perfect. Okay, cut off some of this. Ideally, all these packages would be going international. I love it when I see those kind of orders coming in, because I know it's their warehouse is very close. There's very unlikely that the package is going to get damaged or go missing when it only has 10 minutes to go to get to its location. And it's great to not have to worry about a return. Okay, KitchenAid. This is going to be very light. I don't know if you can see my screen there. If I move my weight around on the floor, I can change the numbers on the scale. In this case, it's only 2 ounces. Okay, 8 by 6 by 1. And it is going to GS. I put the initials of the buyer on here. That's what I do on all these packages. Then I'll print my labels off of my thermal printer, and then I'll match up the names of the buyer to the initials to make sure I don't put the wrong label on the wrong box. Okay, dice. I think these will go in an envelope too. I might just put a little extra bubble wrap. Talked about it before. I do like to reuse packing materials when I can, because it's not only cost effective for me to not have to purchase materials, it also is good for the environment. You know, reuse this stuff as much as we can. And I get a lot of these materials from a not-for-profit here in the Chicago area called EcoShip. So let's look it up right now, make sure I know their website. ecoship.org. So 501c3 not-for-profit organization. They get people to donate them all of their used Amazon packages and whatever else kind of packages come in the mail, and then they give them away to anybody who wants them. So if you happen to be a reseller or an eBay seller or doing any other kind of shipping in the Chicago area, I recommend you check out that website, ecoship.org. This weighs absolutely nothing. I put 0.1 ounce, 11 by 7. I'm going to call it 2. And this is going to SJ. Okay, what kind of a box does this go in? These are the boxes that I actually pay for out here. It's dark out here. That is not it. This is 8 by 8 by 8. This might be too small. For $100. For $100, I didn't want to have some packing paper around the outside of this box. Even though I'm sure that package, it has styrofoam inside of it, this box, I'm sure it has plenty of padding in it. I I included the box in the listing. I took photos of it, and I want the box to get to the buyer in exactly the same condition as it was in the photos. So I will put it in one of these bigger 12 by 12 by 12 boxes, which I believe is the biggest package that you can send by regular USPS without having to pay any kind of a extra fee. 12 by 12 by 12. Of course, that number is supposed to be the inside of the box, and the measurements of the inside, not the outside. So sometimes I will cut these down to try to make sure it stays under 12 by 12 by 12. Because they have that oversized surcharge that might be $4, maybe $6, and I don't want to get I can't think of what they call it. You know, periodically you'll get a message from eBay that says there was an adjustment to your shipping, and sometimes they charge you a few dollars more than you paid originally if you buy your packaging through eBay. And sometimes, occasionally, you get a refund. And I hear a lot of people complaining online about getting a surcharge. Oops. But it seems to me like it evens out. The number of times I get a underpayment charge seems to equal the number of times that I get an overpayment refund. And I'm pretty careful about doing my measuring and doing my weighing and all this stuff, so I don't think it's probably me that's making the mistake, but I am assuming that somebody somewhere along the way when the package is being delivered has to weigh something and they weighed it wrong. And that's when you'll get one of those underpaid or overpaid messages from eBay. It's not really that common. Maybe, I don't know, maybe once every 3 months. I feel bad leaving these oversized packages for my carrier to pick up. But I don't really have a lot of options. I just got to do it that way. Also, I feel bad about leaving a $100 package out on the porch for somebody to take, or for to somehow otherwise disappear. I put WD on there for Western Digital. It's going to weigh 7.8, and I'm going to put 12 by 12 by 12. I think these boxes are pretty close to those measurements on the outside. RR. This is going to RR. You'd be surprised at how often people have double initials like that, the same initial twice. Okay, there's 4. I'm going to go pick the next 4. Oh, some big ones too. Okay, I'm going to move this stuff out of the way for the moment. And go pick these. Okay, ship now. Okay, here we go. I've got a GameCube game. It is called Mario Party 4. So there's that, Mario Party 4. Also right here, I have a sticker, Cube 1C. This is a MXR guitar pedals sticker. Got quite a few of these, maybe 80 or 100 of these from a guy off Craigslist. And they're pretty slow sellers, but they're easy to ship. They don't take up much space. They only make a few dollars for each one. Okay, Gator D. Okay, drumhead, 1 Remo Yamaha Smooth White Ambassador. 2. One Remo Smooth White Ambassador. Whoops. I didn't put the best labels on these packages of drumheads. Power Max. There we go. 1 Smooth White Ambassador. I don't know if you can see that. So I got that, and then I'm going to get a 4th thing, W5B. This is what I was talking about earlier. Use this white table here to put these boxes on and get out what I need. In this case, it's gonna be these oil colors. And these are vintage oil-based inks, stains for you know, color correcting or color touching up old photographs, black and white photos. I have some concerns about this because the buyer sent me a message asking something about the quality of this oil-based ink. She said that she purchased some 50 years ago and she took it out of her storage or somewhere. She took it out trying to getting back into the photo coloring business, and it was all dried up. So she wanted to know if this is dried up. And honestly, I couldn't tell you. Before I had a chance to answer her, she just purchased the item. So I'm a little worried that she's going to want to send this back. I hope not, but we'll see what happens. Okay, let's start with Mario. Okay, I got a big, not a big stack, maybe 10 or 12 Nintendo GameCube games for free. This one is missing. Where did it go? Uh-oh. Where could it have gone? It's in the photos right here. Oh, this is Mario Party 5. Okay. Mario Party 5. I grabbed Mario Party 4, which is just the empty case. Mario Party 5. There we have the disc. Good. That got me a little bit nervous for a second, but we solved that problem quickly. So, like I was saying, I got a bunch of these, 10 or 12 of these GameCube games for free. Someone gave me. And they sell very well. I couldn't tell you how old the GameCube is. What is this from? 2003? I guess people still play this because somebody paid me $63. Okay. it. I'm going to put it in a box because it's $63. I would very regularly, I would put a game or a DVD or something like that in just in a bubble mailer with some cardboard wrapped around it. But in this case, $63. I think that warrants putting it in a real box. I'm even going to wrap it in bubble. You know what I might do? I'm going to put a little piece of this bubble wrap inside here. Hopefully keep that disc from rattling around when it ships. Oops. I think I'm about the end of my roll of Scotch tape here. I usually use Scotch tape. I've got these 3 kinds of tape. I use the Scotch tape for this kind of thing because it's the least expensive tape. Then I use this 2-inch tape for a little tacking of lids, you know, flaps. I'll tack them down with the cheap, a very thin 2-inch tape. And then I have a higher quality 3-inch tape here that I use for final sealing of the boxes. So yeah, I'll just tack this down with the 2-inch tape. Because this 3-inch tape is so much more expensive. I don't trust this Amazon paper tape, so I'll put another layer of 3-inch tape over the top of it. Okay, Mario Party. Should be pretty light, 13 ounces. And it's going to be 11 by 8 by 4. 4, and it is going to a buyer with the initials AF. Amazing Fantasy. Let's put that here in this stack. Okay, what's next? This drum head. Let me take it with me. I got a really big pile of these drum heads, and it seems to be a trend of a lot of the stuff that I'm selling is the stuff I got for free. So there's I just saw on Facebook Marketplace somebody said free drum heads. Come and get them. And it was a local drum and bugle corps. The woman there told me they've been in existence for 70 years. And they had a storage unit they were just cleaning out, and they've never cleaned it in all the time that they've been an organization. So they had hundreds and hundreds of these drum heads. I imagine they were donated by Yamaha or Remo or somebody, maybe a local music store. So they said, come and take whatever you want. So luckily it was very close to me. It's only about, I don't know if it's even 5 minutes away. So I was the first person who got there. And I have a pretty little car. It's a Honda Fit, but you can squeeze quite a lot of stuff in there if you want to. So mostly, I mean, they had drum heads of all sizes, including big bass drum heads, which are the most valuable. Some of those big bass drum ones might be worth $100 to $200. But I would only be able to fit a small number of those in my car, and I'd have to figure out how to mail them. So I filled my car with a variety. Like I started with the smallest drum heads. Some of them are very, very tiny. I'll show you one in a second. Like these are not even the smallest ones, but These are about, I don't know if these are 5 inches, 6 inches. So I don't know. I never really did a complete inventory of how many drum heads I got from that storage unit, but it was a lot, and I probably left just as many as I took. And I've been selling them very well. But you got to figure out how to ship things, so I ordered these pizza boxes from a Restaurant Supply website. And they've been working out pretty good. I got them in about, I don't know, 4 or 5 different sizes for different size drum heads. And then I have a whole stack of these drum heads here. These are bigger ones that I need to do a little inventory of and get them listed, because they are hot sellers. And in most cases, they sell pretty well. This one, pretty cheap. This one only sold for $16. I think I took an offer on it, and I have a hard time turning down these offers when it's something that didn't cost me anything. So I think I was probably asking 24. They sent me an offer for 16, and I just decided to take it. I know pizza boxes aren't really designed for shipping, and the first order that I made, I ordered several sizes of shipping boxes, or pizza boxes, and when they came, they were, I would say they're more like donut boxes, that thin cardboard, and there was no way I could use those, so I was able to return those. And in fact, I had 2 orders, and one order they said return it, and one order they said just keep it. It's not worth our trouble to deal with return shipping. So I've got a big stack of basically useless pizza boxes here that maybe someday I'll figure out a use for. For the time being, I'm using these nice ones. And once I started with listing the smallest ones first, because I knew I could ship them, and then I started moving on to bigger and bigger ones, and I would place more and more orders of bigger size boxes. So I don't think these are 20 by 20. I don't know if those are the biggest ones I got. No, the bigger ones, these big ones here are, I think they're 24 by 24. So that stack of heads out there that I need to get listed are going to go in those boxes eventually. And then in the garage, I still have a handful of very large bass drum heads that are probably more than 30 inches around. I don't know how I'm going to mail those. I had so many, I started listing them in lots, 3 or 4 drum heads. I don't really want to list them like a 12-inch drum head for your toms, and a 13-inch for your snare, and a 14-inch for your floor tom, and a 20-inch for your bass drum, or whatever sizes I have. I could make a set like that, but I don't know what size drum heads people need. Everybody has their own idiosyncratic way of setting up their own drum set. And I don't know how many people are going to need 4 or 5 of the exact same head, but I'm selling them cheap enough that if they need 1, maybe they need 4. I basically looked up how much they cost new. I looked up each one of these. I looked them up on, not Musician's Friend, one of these big online music retailers. Oh, Sweetwater. And then I marked mine just about half price of what they would be new. These are all new. They've never been used, but some of them are a little dusty and dirty from sitting around for years. Okay, I think that's going to be fine. Okay, this is Smooth White Ambassador. I know I have another drum head coming up, so I'm going to add a little extra information here so I don't mix them up later when I put the labels on. They look light and they feel light, but then they're surprisingly heavy once you put them on the scale. 1.8 pounds. And what did I say they were? 20 by 20? 20 by 20 by 2. I think 22, if you have anything more than 22 inches long on one side, that's when USPS, the similar surcharges I was talking about, kick in. So however much this cost, I would get a bill in the mail, or I'd get a bill in my eBay email in a few months for another $4 or $6 or something like that if this was more than 22 inches long. Okay, next is this. Okay, I know this will go by eBay standard envelope, which is eBay's own shipping scheme. I guess they made an arrangement with the post office to say, since we're shipping so much stuff through eBay, can we get a discount on a special kind of shipping that has tracking on it? So I could technically just put this in an envelope and put a stamp on it and send it, but it would have no tracking, and there'd be no way for me to prove that the item actually was delivered, and that would open me up for the buyer to say they never received it and they would want a refund. So this way, at least I have some kind of protection. If the package gets delivered and the buyer says it didn't, I can always look at the tracking and we'll know actually it did get delivered. Okay, I'm going to put 2 pieces of this thin cardboard to protect it. I'm also going to leave this piece of wax paper on here to keep it from sticking to itself. It curled up a little bit in that storage location, but it will flatten out once it goes in this envelope. And you can see this envelope is pretty old, seen better days. There's no way this adhesive is going to stay. So I'll put a piece of tape on it. So the eBay standard envelope has to be within a certain size. I think it's slightly larger than this is acceptable, and it has to be flexible enough that it can go through the USPS sorting machines. I might be pushing my boundaries by putting 2 pieces of that thin cardboard on here. It's not quite as flexible as it probably should be. And it's strange because eBay sells their own envelopes from the eBay store, eBay shipping supply store, and their envelopes that they advertise as eBay standard envelope compatible are way too thick, and they will certainly get rejected some number of times by the post office. MXR, and it's going to weigh nothing. I call it 1 ounce. I forget how big these are. 8 by 6. 861. It is going to AG. Now I see on eBay that this buyer is a repeat buyer for me. Unfortunately, eBay doesn't show me what that person bought in the past, but I'm going to assume she bought. I have these kind of stickers in 3 different designs, so I'm going to assume that she bought a different design and now she wants another one. I'm going to leave that there. Okay, so I sold that for $6.99. That bass drum head was, or I guess it's probably a tom head, or small bass drum. Anyway, $16. This sticker was $6.99 plus probably $4 shipping, and that standard envelope is probably going to cost me 68 cents or something like that. Okay, these oils, photo oils, I got these at the Goodwill in October of last year, so let's see, that's about 3 or 4 months. And I purchased them for $4.14 and I sold them for $59.99 plus shipping. I brought home quite a few boxes recently, but I do go through them quickly. I'm luckily where I work, we go through a lot of boxes and I'm able to take them when I need them, but it's not always convenient to get my hands on them there, and they don't always have the exact sizes that I might need. So I do purchase new boxes, and I usually use them. I usually save them for kind of a last resort. If I don't have any used boxes left, I'll use a brand new one. Or if I'm selling something that's of a high value and I want the buyer to feel like I put a lot of effort into getting them a package in a nice, safe way, I'll give them a brand new box. If you're an eBay buyer, do you care if you get used boxes? Or would you prefer to get brand new ones? You can leave a comment below to let me know. I get these rolls of packing paper from Zorro.com. They're about this big when they start, and then this one's getting towards the end of its life. I think they're about $35 a roll, maybe a little less than that. And it's definitely cheaper than bubble wrap, but they do go faster than you might think. Okay, oils. This weighs 2 pounds, 4 ounces. It is 13 by 11 by 4. And it is going to AG. Okay, next batch. Okay. These are some complicated ones. Got this hat. It's like a vintage British police hat from West Mercia. I think that's in, let's see, it's in Gwent. If you know anything about England, you can tell me where Gwent is, because I really don't know. I got it I'll tell you about it when I pack it. The next thing is pair of J. Crew W1A J. Crew jeans. Most of these 3 rows here on the bottom is clothes. I'm hoping to clear out as much of this as possible, so I'm happy to see these red jeans go. I'm always at the thrift stores, and I save it for last, so if I'm getting tired, I won't spend too much time on it, but I always look at clothes at the thrift stores, even though I absolutely hate listing it. Okay, BR6. BR6 right here. Can you see this? A pastry frame. I'll tell you about that when I pack it. And then finally, this will be the last one of the night. Okay, another drum head. It's inside this oven, which is crazy, but that's where it is. I don't know if you can see it if it's too dark over here. 14-inch Remo Emperor Renaissance. I'm going to turn my light on here. 14-inch Remo Emperor Renaissance. It's only one head. That's it right there. This space right here where I do my packing used to be a kitchen, and the previous owner of this building rented this apartment in our basement out, even though it's not up to code to do that. So for several months I was doing my packing on that. That stove was right here where this shelf is now, this Gatorade shelf. And at some point I realized I can move it and have more space for any other thing that I want to do there. Here's another one of these pizza boxes. I'm just going to do this one first since I'm already looking at it. So this is the same deal. Drum heads from the bugle, drum and bugle corps. I'm pretty surprised that they would just give them to me for free, but I did give them a donation so that they can keep their organization going. They had the storage space that they had was a big, enormous warehouse, and they were taking everything out and putting it outside, so all these drum heads were just sitting on a parking lot. And I really wanted to go inside that building and see what else they had that I might be able to get my hands on, but they did not let me in there. Okay. These are kind of cumbersome. Not as easy to pack as some other things. Okay. So this box is a little smaller than the other one. I had some concerns that my buyers might be dissatisfied with getting a pizza box in the mail, but so far I haven't heard any complaints, and I've probably shipped, I don't know, 30 or 40 of these this way. I imagine these boxes are actually probably more stable than the boxes that the drum manufacturer actually ships them in. Okay, this one is Remo Emperor. And it is 1 pound exactly. I should have left out a tiny little bit of that paper. Get this thing under a pound. That's one of the points where the shipping increases once you go from 15 ounces to a pound. Okay, these are 17 by 17 by 2. And it's going to BS in Utah. So that one sold for $20.78 plus shipping. I've been running a President's Day sale today, or a coupon, I guess. So 15% off anything in my eBay shop today. So some of these things have these strange numbers, $20.78 because of that 15% off whatever the original price was. Okay, that one's done. Okay, pastry frame. I don't really know exactly what a pastry frame is. It's got metal pieces and then it's canvas. I guess you roll it out and you put bread on it when you're cooking and it doesn't stick to your table. Something like that. I think this is the 3rd or 4th one of these I've sold. I usually find them for pretty cheap. And then they sell quickly. Like this one. Okay, I got this at the Goodwill. It was $1.90. I bought it on January 24th, so it's probably only listed, it probably got listed early in February, and today's the 17th, so it's been listed for less than 2 weeks, that's for sure, and it sold for $45.99 plus shipping. I have this. I have this box that blinds. Some mini blinds came in, or I guess it was curtain rods, but I don't think it's going to work out. I probably could make it work. Let's make it work. I'm going to attempt to turn it inside out. Let me see what else I have. Here we go. This one's already ready to go. I don't know what was in here or how I came across it, but it says chair mat. So I imagine this is one of these things you put under your office chair to make sure your floor doesn't get all dinged up from your wheels. Don't need that. I'm going to use my marker. I'm going to make 4 flaps. And let's see if this will close. Okay, that's good. Let's try to put a little paper in here, see what I can fit. And then I'll use the pastry frame to push it down in there. Perfect. I'll put a little bit more on this end. This one first, then this one, this one, this one, this one. Yeah, there we go. This is a little unwieldy. Start over. I'm going to use one of these labels to cover up this barcode. Okay, I might as well put a couple pieces of tape on this end just to be sure. Okay, I'm going to put, I don't think it's going to really matter, but I'm going to put some labels over this writing that's on the box. Okay, then I'll write on here, pastry. It weighs 15 ounces. And let's see how long it is. 20, so it's, I think it has to be under 23. I think I said 22 earlier, but I think it has to be under 23 for USPS to not charge you extra. So maybe I should, well, we'll see. This is going to CDT. A surprising number of people put their middle initial on their eBay account. Can't remember if I have more of that. Scotch tape. I thought if I had some it would be here. Okay, that one's ready to go. Okay, these J. Crew pants. This was definitely one of these coupon deals. So they took 25% off of these jeans and got them for only $18.99. I've had them. When did I get these? June 2024, so 6 or 8 months ago. I paid $2 for them at a small local independent thrift store. This is a thrift store that's associated with a like a retirement village. So I think any money they make there goes towards recreation for the residents, something like that. And I fear that a lot of the inventory they get there comes from residents who are no longer with us. But I'm not really sure about that. I know they definitely take donations. So I usually go there. It's close enough to my work that I can go there on my lunch break. And I will usually go there every 2 weeks to give them enough time to rotate some inventory in and out. Otherwise, I'll just be seeing the same stuff every time I go. And sometimes they're a little overpriced, but typically they have pretty good prices, and they very often have, a day when every red label is half price or a green label is half price, or sometimes they'll just say all the clothes today. Oops, over my sweeper. They'll say all the clothes today is $2 or something like that. So I like to go there, find out what's going on, and I have found some pretty good stuff there. Okay, these jeans weigh 1 pound, 1 ounce. Oops, and this package is 12 by 10, call it by 2, 12 by 10 by 2, and they're going to NC. Okay, I'll leave that up here. Now I gotta find a box for this. I think I have one right here. This is that British policeman's helmet. Oh my gosh. There we go. So I got this helmet at a estate sale. One of the craziest estate sales I've ever been to. I was looking at their listing online and I saw several things there that I wanted to get. There was a typewriter that I liked. This this police helmet. Some vintage security camera monitors, maybe 2 or 3 more things. So I went there on the first day of the sale and the prices are just too high for me to justify spending that kind of money. So for instance, this helmet was $80 and I thought it was worth about 120, 125 or 30, something like that, based on my research. But the next day they were going to do 50% off, so I went the next day and basically got everything that I wanted. I got this for $40. But when I wanted to check out, the woman who was running the sale just kept disappearing. Every time I wanted to pay her money, she was taking care of something else. So eventually I just took everything that I wanted to buy and just took it out of the house, put it in my car, and then I wrote all the prices of everything on my hand, and then I went and showed it to her and told her I'm ready to pay this. I think it was $120 or something like that, maybe $150. And then she was telling me, you know, there's other people in line in front of you trying to pay first. And I had given her the money already, and she gave it back to me because there were other people in line. So then there was another woman working there. She asked me what she could do to help me, and I said, can you just take this money? I'll give it to you, and then I'll be done. And so she took it, she brought it to the other woman and tried to give it to her, and she wouldn't take it, so she gave the money back to me. And eventually I found a man who was working in the garage, and he was able to take this money from me. So I would say I shopped there for half an hour, and then it probably took me an hour to pay for the items that I had already loaded in my car. So I'm not sure if they were, I've never seen these people before. I'm not sure if they were a legitimate, you know, official estate sale company, or if it was just a family operation and they weren't really sure how to run it. But they're not going to be the first ones on my list when I'm looking for sales to shop from. Okay, I put a little bubble wrap on it to protect it a little bit, and I'm going to put it in this 12 by 12 by 12 box. And I will load it up with paper. I may end up using this whole roll. I'm not sure why. I don't really like using these eBay branded boxes when they're going to go out in the mail. It makes me feel like someone's going to want to steal them more than if it was just a blank box. But you know, if you have an eBay store, they give you a certain amount of money to spend in their shipping supply shop. So I'm not going to let that money go to waste. And I typically buy these small 6x4x4 size boxes because it's the cheapest thing they have in the eBay shop. But this time I bought these 12x12x12s, and I guess what's good about them is they have these little seams, so you can make it lower. This probably get it down to 8 or 9 inches tall, and then you don't have to cut them down yourself. Okay, helmet. That's a helmet. That is 2 pounds 8 ounces. Most of it is paper, I guess. Call it 12x12x12, and it was going to PD. So I paid $40 for it. I ended up selling it. I took an offer on it, and I sold it for $109.99. That was only listed since less than a month. So not too bad. Okay. I'm going to put all these boxes up on the bench, and then we're going to run some labels and get them ready. Okay. I'm going to leave these 2 drum heads over here because they take up too much space. And then we'll do... Okay. I'm going to put them in the order I'm going to put the labels on. So, pastry frame, jeans, helmet, oils, this sticker, the other drum head, this is Mario. I forgot what was in here. Hard drive. These are dice, KitchenAid, and Starbucks. Okay, here we go. I already have my bulk shipping tool set up. So we're going to go and put all these numbers in here. Okay, which one is which? This is Emperor. 1 pound 0 ounces. 17 by 17 by 2. $7.96 to ship that. I'm going to just go ahead and put these numbers right into my spreadsheet, and I'll tell you actual profits we're making on these items. Okay, so 1 drum head we made $16.15. The next thing on the list is going to be this pastry frame. So that is 15 ounces, and it is 23 by 3 by 3. And well, $9.94. That's going that's only going to Michigan. Why is that so expensive? Let's see if I put 22 in here, what it changes to. Okay, $5.94. I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna put 22, even though it's a little bit bigger than that, and I'm gonna put $5.94 in here, and we'll have made $41 on that pastry frame. Okay, next, these jeans. 1 pound 1 ounce. 12 by 10 by 2. This is going ground advantage, $6.03. So that gives us a grand profit of $11.92 for those jeans. Okay, helmet. 2 pounds, 8 ounces. Exactly what I have. 12 by 12 by 12. That's exactly what I have. It's going to be... I'm going to ship that priority. And it's going to be $11.87. So we end up making $65.60 on that helmet. Okay, MXR sticker. Okay, where did it go? MXR sticker, let's do this one first. These oils. I might not have them in my spreadsheet. You'll have to put those in the spreadsheet. Let's do that right now. Marshall's Photo Oils, copy. Okay. As I sell more and more, I'm going to have to stop having these individual items in this spreadsheet because it takes up too much time. And I'll just have to do my accounting, like money in, money out. Do it that way. Okay, let me open this in a new tab. Okay, $59.99 they sold for it, and then this was on a discount, so $50.99. 50.99. And how much does she pay for shipping? $7.82. You can see how this takes time to put this information in here. Transaction fee was $7.67. That's eBay's cut. I also had a promotion on this of 2%, or maybe it was 2.2%. So that is another $1.40 that's going to eBay. Okay, and then we'll do the label. Okay, how much does it weigh? 2 pounds, 4 ounces. It is 13 by 11 by 4. That gives us $8.58 in shipping cost. Put that in here. She only paid $7.82, so she's getting a discount on top of a discount. $36.86 profit. I'm okay with that. Okay. MXR. This is just the sticker. Was 1 ounce, and it is 8 by 6 by 1. I'm going to choose this eBay standard envelope, which is only 69 cents. So put that in here. I'm not really making much profit on these stickers. $6.58. I paid $1.20 per each sticker by the time I averaged it all out. Okay, next drumhead is the bigger one, and it was 1 pound 8 ounces, and it's 20 by 20 by 2. So that's going to cost only $8.05. This is only going to Alabama. I guess it's pretty close to here. This is another one that got a 15% off coupon. So this drumhead earned us $14.23. Okay, next is Mario Party. Mario Party 5, 13 ounces, 11 by 8 by 4. Ground Advantage, $6.84. So that GameCube game earned us $54.97. Congratulations, that's pretty good. Okay, Western Digital, 7 pounds, 8 ounces, 12 by 12 by 12. 12 by 12 by 12. Ground Advantage, that's $13.29 for that big box, is going to Florida. So much stuff goes to Florida. $110.21 profit. Can't complain about that. Okay, these game replacement pieces are going to be 1 ounce, 11 by 7 by 2. Ground Advantage, that is going to be $4.08. 4.08. So just these pieces out of a board game, $7.01. If I can sell everything else out of there, I'm sure I paid $2 for that whole game, maybe less. Okay, KitchenAid parts. It's right here, 2 ounces, 8 by 6 by 1. That says priority mail. We're going to change that to Ground Advantage, $3.91. So, like I said, these are probably actually break even. I put a $0 cost of goods, so $12.27 for some gaskets. And then finally, this Starbucks mug is probably not going to earn us much money. 1 pound, 9 ounces, 10 by 8 by 5, $6.14 to ship that to Glenview Heights, right here to the eBay hub. So $11.19 on this. Do we want to see what all of these packages earned us total? Let's find out. So this is Saturday, Sunday, and Monday's orders. Saturday evening. Whoops. Insert function. Sum. Okay, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, $388.02. Not too bad. It's gonna cost $83 in shipping for all of this. I'm gonna print these labels right here on my printer, and then I'm gonna put them on these packages. eBay has been running slow when I do this bulk label tool lately, so I don't know if they made some changes or if my internet's not cooperating, but they're ready to go. The printer will print them pretty quickly. I recommend these thermal label printers. They're pretty inexpensive. The labels are almost free. In some cases you can get them for free, and they run quickly. Don't have to waste any tape sticking paper to a box. They look a little more professional. So yeah, pick one of these up. I'm sure I paid less than $50 for this one. Okay, ready. We're going to look for each of these initials and match them up with the labels and get this show over with. Okay, this is the eBay International Shipping one. This is going to FDR, so thank you FDR. GS is going to be one of these drum heads. Okay, I forgot to write an initial down, so I'm going to have to go back and look at which one was the drum head. That says BS. That says SB. Alright, we're going to skip GS and come back to him later. SJ. I usually put these in order, the order that they're going to print out, but I got a little bit mixed up here because there's so many packages. So there's SJ, thank you SJ. Next is RR, double duty. RR, that's the hard drive. Thank you RR. Aaron Whoops, I'm not going to say his name on here, but it's an AF. AF right here. This is Mario Brothers. Thank you, AF. SB, I think is down here. Nope, that's BS. SB. Huh. Well, I'm going to have to come back to that one too. These eBay standard envelope labels look a little different, so that one's easy to find. AG. AG right here. Thank you, AG. PD. Thank you, PD. That's the helmet. That's going priority mail. NC. J Crew Jeans. Thank you, JC. I mean NC. CDT. Thank you for the purchase. CDT. Okay, BS is this one. Thank you, BS. I'm going to just double check SB and make sure that it's going to the right guy. SB, there he is. So I forgot to write his initials on here. Okay, thank you, SB. That's 12 packages. Now we got a GS. Oh yeah, GS. That's 12 packages, KitchenAid. Thank you, GS. Okay, that's everybody. Alright, thanks everybody for purchasing. Thanks everybody for watching. Hopefully I'll have a few more sales before the night is over, and then I'll be back in the morning to package those up, and maybe I'll make another video. Until then, goodbye.